Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of the High Level Confidence Podcast. I'm your host, TJ Fa'amal-Sili, and this is a podcast intended to help you live and lead at a higher level. And we'll do this by sharing 3 new big ideas to help you apply what I call the High Level Confidence Framework. And these 3 ideas are actually going to be inspired from a conference that I attended this last weekend. It was a conference for men put on by my friends over at the Abundant Man Project. And so big shout out to them. Here are 3 big ideas that hit me throughout this conference. So first, here's an idea that can help you live in purpose. Without a doubt, one of the biggest themes that hit me this past weekend was the importance of clarity and action. Clarity preceding action, and then also action preceding clarity. There was an interpretation of the scripture that I had never thought about before. It's the scripture that talks about if you will have faith as small and simple as a mustard seed, you'll be able to move mountains. But the speaker put this twist on it. He said, what if that scripture is saying you approach the mountain and your faith is walking step by step up that mountain? All of the sudden, you have moved the mountain. Not because the mountain was actually moved, but because you are at the peak of the mountain and you can no longer see it. It has moved from your vision because you had clarity and took action. I want to invite you to think about in your life, in your business, what is the mountain that you are striving to move? What is the clarity and consistent action that can help you move that mountain, that can help you get to that peak? And second, here's an idea that can help you create order to combat the chaos in your life. When I think of the most successful people that I know, one thing they all have in common, they are absolute maniacs about their time. I mean, they are psycho with their time. They got schedules, they got calendars, and things are planned out to the minute. And it's honestly crazy that we don't all approach our time in that way. We're really good with tracking our money. We check the bank account, we check in the cost of things, but it's crazy we don't look at time in the same way. When it's been guaranteed and proven time and time again from those that are approaching the end of their life, they're not gonna want more money. They're not gonna want more things. They want time. And how can we effectively use our time better? It's by awareness, choices, and tracking our time with efficiency and a bit of craziness. I want to invite you to take the next step in applying this principle, whatever it looks like, whether it's looking at your previous days and weeks and tracking and becoming aware of the time that's being spent in certain areas, combined with looking forward and being meticulous about your planning and tracking and how you're using your time in your schedule and in your calendar. And lastly, here's an idea to help you apply pillar number 3, building intentional relationships. So in this conference, I heard someone ask the following question, and it was basically the standard work-life balance struggle. He shared, I'm working hard when I'm at work, and then I come home and I know I want to be working on my business, but I also want to be with my kids and be with my wife. But I feel like I don't have enough time. And the response that the coach gave was incredible. He said, your family doesn't want your time. They want your energy. He said, my kids don't want just hours and hours with me. My wife don't even want hours and hours with me. They want pure, focused energy. And I've seen that time and time again, and I started applying this past week in my life. It's amazing to feel the difference and not necessarily trying to bring my family time, but trying to bring my best energy, my best self. Whether that's prepping my mind a little bit right before I get home, or if I'm being completely honest, getting a little caffeine in before I walk through that door. I walked away from that interaction inspired to bring my best energy to my family, not just time. So my question for you is this: what would it look like in your life to not just prioritize time with the people that matter most, but to prepare to bring your best energy and to exert that energy and that force to deepen those connections, deepen those relationships, and to be fully present in the moment? So thank you so much for taking this time with me on this episode of our High Level Confidence podcast today. I appreciate your time and your energy and being present and focused with me. I hope and pray that something in this episode will bless your life. I want to challenge you to take action. And if someone came to mind or there's someone that you think one of these principles can benefit, I want to invite you to send this to them. And until next time, live in faith, live in confidence, and we'll see you on the next one.